Coach Mullen and saying, hey, what do you want to do on 1st and 10? You know, having that conversation even while the play's going on.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. That's what we have confidence in Dak that he's going to get that first down. So you go ahead and you talk about, coach, I feel comfortable running this play, or just stay away from this, or just stuff like that.
How is it for a quarterback? Do you develop favorite receivers? I mean, do you think, boy, I like going to Marcus and Chad when the game gets tight, or does it really just, are they nameless and numberless when you're going through your progressions?
I promise, like, a lot of people, they would say, you throw it to Green a lot, you throw it to Chad a lot, but really it's just going through my reads and just taking what the defense gives me, and sometimes it just so happens that, other guys get more catches than others, but, this whole team is one family. Everybody wants to make the plays and do stuff, but we know at the end we have one goal in common, and it's to get to Atlanta and win the SEC.
Do you even know who it's going to at the time, or is it an X and an O? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, that went to Buffalo.
I mean, you always, you walk to the line of scrimmage with you have a plan. I see the defense is going to do this. He's playing inside and outside on somebody else. So I'm going to try to work this way. And then snap the ball, something else happens. So you got to react quick. But I wouldn't say I know for sure this is the person I'm going to go to every time I walk out there.
Dan talked about a conversation you had in the meeting room when you threw that ball to Jameon in that tight space, but was able to get it to him. You were able to say, hey, look, I saw it. I saw everything around him, and I thought I could make that throw. Is that the kind of conversations that kind of changed between you, Coach Mullen? Of like, it seems like he's giving you the car keys as long as you understand risk versus reward.
Yeah, like on that play, all week, I didn't throw it. I'm not supposed to throw the Jameon on that play at all, but I mean, it happened, and sometimes you got to adapt to the situation. And the end kind of got wide, and he pushed me up in the pocket, and I seen Jameon for a quick second, and one thing Coach stresses to me, pull the trigger. If you think you have it, pull the trigger. Don't hesitate. If I would have hesitated, it probably would have been a pick. But I didn't hesitate, and I released the ball, and it turned out to be a good play.
What did you think when you got the honor? How did you find out about it?
No, I saw it, through Twitter or, through the media and stuff like that. So, it was great, but, that was just a game that we won, and now it's time to move on and get ready for Troy.
Just because of the way the offense was built, I know you had to wait your turn, and guys like Chad and Marcus kind of did a little bit too to get some of the glory, the passing game and everything. Is it fun to kind of share it with them and watch them be able to celebrate and have these big games?
Definitely. I think Saturday I threw to 9 different receivers or something like that. That just lets you know. I mean, everybody is working so hard together to get open and just doing the little thing right. And you never know. When it's going to be the play that you're going to make that play and you're going to be the one to score a touchdown. So you always got to run your route and be patient and be ready to, make plays.
Thanks.
Sorry I came in here late, Tyler, but coaches have talked a lot about their decision making, how it's improved. You pick your times to take a shot down the field or make a tough throw. Is that something that kind of took place this past offseason? How did that develop?
Yeah, definitely. In the recent years, I would look deep to the flats. So now I'm looking flat to deep. If I have the flat immediately, I take the flat, and then that sets up the deep passes later on. So I'm just taking what the defense gives me. I'm just trying to get in the rhythm and get in the groove and stuff like that.
Things seem to be clicking with the offensive line through these 2 games. Only 1 sack. How do you think rate their performance so far?
They're doing really, really well, and I go to say that 1 sack was on me. I should have got. That was quick. I should have got the ball out quicker. So those guys are doing a really good job in protecting me and knowing their assignments.
Chad Bumphus just looks like a different guy this year, don't you think? I mean, he's a little bit crisper on those routes.
Yeah, he's older. This is the last year. He knows to get to that next level, he has to have a big year and stuff like that. So in the offseason, he always, hey Tyler, he calls me, hey, this is what we got to do and stuff like that. So and it's showing, that hard work paid off, and he's starting to, doing what he needs to do to be successful.
Do you find that going to Troy may be a little bit tougher than anything you guys have faced so far, even Auburn, because that was at home?
Well, definitely, especially after you come off a win like this, it's kind of hard to get the guys to stay focused and stuff like that. But that's one thing we're stressing. You got to stay focused. You don't want it to be like last year when you went to UAB and stuff like that. You want to come out strong and you want to play those games like you're playing at Auburn or LSU or Alabama or whoever it is. It shouldn't matter who you play. You should come in and be willing to put the hard work in and take the ball down there and score.
I was working a random story about just how good the defensive lines are in the SEC this year, and just, you've been in some games and seen these guys. Seen those 300-pound guys across the line. Is that intimidating?
Instead of working hard, whatever, like we see something on the field and we'll go back. I go back and run into Tyler, let him know because on that play he threw to me, it was a double post. So the outside receiver post really got the ball, but like when they got that PI, Rojo got the PI, that was the same play. I like Tyler, I was open on that too, so we came back to it and he hit me down the middle.
Is it almost like Christmas for you guys out there? I mean, with just all those passes coming your way and just how important you guys are to the offense right now?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's Christmas, but it felt kind of easy out there. It felt harder to practice, and it just felt good running around and trying to make a play. But I wouldn't say it was Christmas, but it was fun.
What do you know about this Troy defense? I mean, they gave up a lot of passing yards this last game. You guys have some wide eyes going in, or what do you see from them?
I mean, they try to play a little zone, and we're gonna try to go back to the base, and then we're gonna run the ball, throw the ball on it, and we're gonna just try to make plays and get another W.
Coach Brewster was telling us that Chad's really, since he's been here anyway, the last month or so, that he's noticed Chad's really kind of helped you and some of the younger guys out a lot. What's his sort of role? What does he do for y'all?
I mean, he's like the guy you can go ask a question anytime you don't know the answer. So like, like that. He know the answer to all the questions you have. So you go ask Chad. He'll run it back to you and then let you know. Like he'll watch me on my route just like I watch him on his route. And if I do something wrong, he'll come up to me. You supposed to do this, and I'm like, oh yeah. And then when I watch him on his route, I just learn from whatever he do wrong, and I take it to get a mental rep with it.
Yeah, Chad kind of talked to us that really he spent all off season. He was coming into his final year, kind of wanting to prove something or really just kind of go out on a high note. Have you seen that difference in him? That he's really kind of taking things up a notch?
I mean, yeah, I think he have because this is last year. You can't go back to college, so you want to go out with a bang like everyone. So you can tell he got a chip on his shoulder, and then he just trying to grind hard. But first, like he told me, he ain't really worried about his stats. As long as we get the win, like every other player, he all right though. But I'm pretty sure he want to go out with a bang.
Appreciate it.
Have you seen the level of trust with Tyler as you increase?
Yeah, me and Tyler, we talk all the time. We play around. I believe in him just like I think he believes in me. And I just, just keep that chemistry going throughout the season, and then it can be a beautiful year.
Criticism is
defense doing well, the team doing well, the offense doing well, everyone's just doing well. So we got a good start. We just need to continue.
Something I wanted to ask you about, I'm doing something on Chris Wilson, and Dan Mullen said that when certain players get into the program, that guys that would be listed as athletes could go on either side of the ball. Chris gets first dibs. So I know you were pretty good, I think, running back in high school as well as defensive player. So when you came in, what was that situation like? Did you know right off what side of the ball you were going to be on, or how did that work out?
I really didn't know what side I was gonna be on. Like when I came in, I really liked offense, playing offense, and it was like that for a while. But whatever the best move to help the team, that's what I was really doing.
How did Chris convince you that defense was the best spot for you?
By putting me in a position that I would feel comfortable at and make plays in the best way that to help field the defense.
I don't know if you're aware, Coach Wilson told us after the game that some coach in a BCS conference texted him and said that they've got a man crush on you for what you've been doing on the field.
Yeah, I did. I heard about it. I haven't seen it yet, or he never told me, but I heard about it.
What do you feel about that? What makes you think of that?
I mean, I guess it means I'm doing something good,
Yeah.
I've been playing pretty well, and so has everyone else on the team, the defense, D-line, and stuff like that. But I'm just happy I get those kind of compliments.
Just the way you think about the way Chris has used you. I mean, again, you're a guy who's pretty versatile, and he's used you in different ways. And how much fun is that? I mean, does that make defense more fun than maybe you thought it could be? It's just, I guess, can you not do that till after the season?
Yeah, I think you have to wait till it has been just fully blown.
Okay. How much would it mean to you to get that? I mean, you see what Marcus is doing with his 6th year, for instance.
It would mean the world to me because I'm lacking on a lot of football. And, not really lacking on football knowledge, but football snaps, and I think it'll be a big deal for me to get that.
How you feeling after getting a few more snaps in this game against Auburn? I mean, are you liking that rotation you and Justin kind of started developing here?
Yeah, 2 years ago we had the same rotation with me, Gabe, and Q, so that worked out pretty good. We ended the season 9-4, so why not do it again?
I guess I've heard someone talking about how you were talking about Justin. You think he'll be an All-American before he gets out of here?
Oh yeah, the kid's a beast.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What have you seen from him? What makes you think he's going to get up to that level?
Just his natural strength and flexibility. And you don't see too many guys this size and stature can do that.
How does he compare to you in your game? Any similarities, differences?
We're very similar, both pretty powerful, and if he can continue to work and progress like he has from year to year, from last year to this year, he's going to be one of the best guards to come through.
You guys have only given up 1 sack through 2 games. How's that feel? Do you feel like you guys have done a pretty good job so far?
Yeah, I mean, Tyler ain't helping with that a lot, and if we keep that up, then we're going to be a team to be reckoned with.
He says that sack was his fault. What do you guys tell him when he says that to you?
It really was. It was his fault. Don't get up with us.
You feel like you guys are in better shape? I mean, obviously, you guys see so many injuries, including yourself last year. Does it feel like everything's clicking? You guys seem to be communicating better in these first 2 games than last year.
Yes, because we really know what's going on because the extra films that we do together just as a unit with our coach. So we have like our own lingo on the field that help us better, relate to what the defense is doing to one another.
Yeah. Does the offensive line have any goal at the end of the season? Do you want a certain amount of rush yards for your running back or pass yards? What do you guys set?
No, I think the only goal that we have set is to be known as a great offensive line that played hard from Western Wilson.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Were y'all here when Gabe broke?
Basic fundamentals in every play. So what he does is he gets certain drills that we can do. So we try to improve each day on those drills and just transition those into the game. So he makes it real easy. He's a great coach.
What's the biggest difference that you've seen from jumping from high school into the SEC?
Jumping from high school is very different, very different. The speed of the game, the physicality, everybody's good, everybody's 5-star better. So everybody is grown. It's a grown man football game, so it's a big difference.
Well, just kind of talk about, I know you had some other offers and stuff. Now that you're at Mississippi State, this is where you decided to commit to. How happy have you been since you've been here?
Man, it's been a blessing of mine. I always wanted to play in the SEC, and I just want to thank all those people that gave me the chance.
Thanks, bro.
Getting a little groove there with safety. You were second or third on the team in tackles on Saturday.
Yep. We had a real good week of practice, and we knew what the play was going to be before the play, and I got in position and made plays.
What's it like standing back there where you have a direct view of Cam because he's tipping off every play now?
Exactly, Cam. You listen to Cam, he like a good traffic director. He'll get you going in the right direction. So pay attention, read my own keys, and everybody in the right place, and you make plays.
What happened on that 2nd and goal of the 5-yard line, the 9-yard loss? It was one of your TFLs. What do you guys see there?
Well, it was a formation that we see every time they run the formation. They run the same play every time. I was talking to Lewis. His parents said they was calling the plays in the stands, so it's only right that we made the play. So that was a good job by us.
Auburn has seen you 3 years at safety. Do you think, at cornerback, do you think they kind of said, let's test this guy at safety?
Maybe, but their SEC opponent, they're gonna do what they do, Teams don't really, they're not gonna scheme around one player. Maybe John Banks, they might scheme around, but they're not gonna scheme around me. So.
What's better to you, getting an interception now or getting one of those tackles behind the line of scrimmage? Just seems like that's kind of your specialty right now.
Whatever gets the Bulldogs in the win column. If I got to catch 5 interceptions, I catch 5 interceptions. I got to get 8 tackles for loss, I get 8 tackles for loss. Whatever it takes for us to win the game, that's what I do.
You starting to like that freedom a little bit back there?
Oh, I love it. It's kind of hard for me to get an MA now because I can go anywhere. So.
Yeah.
Going to Troy this weekend, it's the first road game. It's not an SEC team, though. Do you think it's a good way for some of these young guys to get broken in, life on the road?
Troy is a very, very decent opponent. I think they got one of the best winning records at home, so we're not taking Troy lightly at all. It's going to be a great game. Last week they threw the ball about 70 times, so it's going to be a good test for our secondary.
I was about to say, you see that box score, and they've thrown the ball about 6 million times. What do you think of as a safety when you think of Troy?
Me and Nico ain't got an interception yet, so we thinking optimistic. We trying to get our hands on the ball this week.
What do you see from Troy's passing game? Is it a lot of short passes? Is it timing stuff? How do they do things?
They got a really efficient quarterback. If he doesn't see what he wants, he's gonna throw the check down every time, and they execute very well. And they get you
the 5 yard, then they throw it over your head. So you gotta stay in position. You gotta be patient, and that's what we're gonna do this week.
I was about to say, as a safety, do you think that'll be difficult? Because they're going to chip away at you and chip away, and I know it'll get frustrating. I mean, how do you? I don't know. I know you want to make the play, but how do you read that? I mean, what have you seen on film?
You wait with a storm. Things come to those who wait. The more patient you are, the more things come to you. We was in chapel the other day. Coach was talking about Job. He lost everything, and he got it all back at one point. He just be patient, and he stayed patient, and it worked for him.
You guys, outside the defensive line, I mean, cornerbacks and safeties got the most TFLs on this team. It's almost reminiscent of early last season. You guys hold that above the D-line's head at all? Is there any talk there?
Oh, no, it's a team effort. The D-line don't get no push. Nobody's going to run backwards. So they should get credited for all those tackles for loss just as well, It's a team effort.